What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog, and those of you looking at the title of this video probably thinking, what is going on with you, Baddog? What are you smoking? What are you drinking, man? You turned into ChrisAM. You got a concussion, man. How can a guy that was so angry and full of rage over Daniel Jones being 6th overall by the Giants all of a sudden come out with a video like this talking about how Daniel Jones could be better than Dwayne Haskins in the NFL? How's that even possible? How can you change your mind? How can you go from way up here to way down here? How can you do a complete 180? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why I believe Daniel Jones can be better than Dwayne Haskins. Now, does that mean he will be better? No. We don't know what these guys are going to do, okay? All we have to do is look at their college resume. And I'm going to look at the college resumes, and I'm going to tell you why I think Daniel Jones can be better than Dwayne Haskins. Now, first and foremost, everybody's going to say, Baddog, look at the stats. You're out of your mind. Daniel Jones threw 22 touchdown passes, and only completed 60%. Dwayne Haskins threw 50 touchdowns. The 5-0, they love it. 50 touchdowns, Baddog, and 70% completion percentage. Oh, my God, you're crazy. Statistics tell half the story, and that's all they ever tell. Okay, I've always said statistics are for fantasy football losers. There's a lot to look and determine by the eye test. Daniel Jones had 38 passes dropped by his wide receivers. Now, I did a little math, and if Daniel Jones would have had 30 of those 38 caught, his completion percentage would have been 67.5% to 68%. It was somewhere in that area. And he would have thrown 30 touchdowns as well. Okay, so that makes a big difference. 38 drop passes. He had no NFL talent around him. As a matter of fact, only 3 guys from Duke were invited to the NFL Combine, one of them being Daniel Jones, whereas Dwayne Haskins had 5 NFL players on the offense. 2 receivers, a running back, and 2 linemen were drafted, and Dwayne Haskins. So 6 guys overall in the offense. And that doesn't even include KJ Dobbins, who is their better running back, their team leader in rushing yards last year, who was only a sophomore and will be in the NFL, if not next year, the year after that. So there's another NFL caliber player that Dwayne Haskins had to work with at Ohio State. Another thing, people are like, look at the highlights, man. Look at Dwayne Haskins, got a huge arm, and he does. He's got a better arm than Daniel Jones. There's no denying that, but just because you have a better arm doesn't make you a better quarterback. Just because you throw 100 miles an hour in baseball doesn't mean that you're a better pitcher than somebody that tops out at 93, okay? It's about location. It's about changing speeds. It's about doing other things than just having a big, strong arm. Daniel Jones is more athletic than Dwayne Haskins. He's faster than Dwayne Haskins. He's more mobile than Dwayne Haskins. And he's more accurate under pressure than Dwayne Haskins, who is not good under pressure and cannot escape the pocket like a Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had no time to throw at Duke. That's why a lot of his passes were short. And you don't see a lot of deep balls caught because in order to be a highlight play, well, the play has to be completed. And a lot of his receivers drop passes. This is why I look at the film, the game film, not the highlights and not the statistics. This is why I changed my mind on this. This is what I started really doing research on Daniel Jones. And I started saying, you know what? This actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Also, Dwayne Haskins' numbers are inflated because he also threw a lot of checkdowns, dump-offs, and screen passes to guys like Paris Hilton, who would take a 4-yard screen pass for 70 yards and a touchdown, which makes Dwayne Haskins' numbers look a lot better. There's no denying this, okay? These are absolute facts. Again, how does this translate to the NFL? Who knows? But my point is everybody thinks Dwayne Haskins is going to be so much better than Daniel Jones, and I don't think that's the case. I think Daniel Jones can be better than Dwayne Haskins in the NFL. Daniel Jones is coming into a much better situation. First and foremost, he's got Pat Shurmur, who's a really good offensive-minded coach. Case Keenum did very well there with Pat Shurmur as the coach of Minnesota. And Case Keenum is not a good quarterback at all. Excuse me. Now you can sit there and say, well, you know, he's there with Eli, and Eli don't have good numbers. Well, Eli's numbers weren't horrible last year. They weren't great, but they weren't horrible considering what he had to work with there, right? How bad their offensive line is. Daniel Jones is used to a bad offensive line, but the Giants have obviously improved it with Will Hernandez, Kevin Zeiler, and Mike Remmers. I don't know if Remmers will be there next year, but the Giants will obviously address the offensive line, and they have Saquon Barkley. And Daniel Jones has something that Dwayne Haskins doesn't, and that is an Eli Manning. That is a guy who he's got a connection with. That is a guy who has succeeded in New York, won 2 Super Bowls, knows how to handle the media, knows how to handle the fans, and can teach him a lot. Where Dwayne Haskins doesn't really have that. Is he going to go to Alex Smith for that? You know, Alex Smith, who's been with 3 different teams now. Is he going to go to Case Keenum, who's also a journeyman quarterback? Does he go to Colt McCoy? Dwayne Haskins doesn't have that quarterback to really learn from. And again, Washington's situation, who knows with Washington? They're always a wild card. You don't know now. Darius Geis is a great talent, but How is he going to recover from the ACL? Who knows? I think Geis can be really good, but he's not Saquon Barkley, which is another reason Daniel Jones has an advantage, because he has a Saquon Barkley. Okay, and Daniel Jones is used to playing with no talent, where, Dwayne Haskins is used to playing with a lot of talent. Dwayne Haskins' teams were superior to the teams they were playing, whereas Daniel Jones were usually inferior, and the whole reason Duke won 8 games and a bowl game was because of Daniel Jones. Washington's team, while I think is good, is not superior to anybody. Maybe a couple teams in the NFL, but they're not superior to anybody the way Ohio State was superior to Indiana, let's say. Okay? So that's why. And the Giants, while they're definitely not superior to anybody, and they're inferior to a lot, aren't as inferior as Duke was in the ACC. So he's got a lot more to work with. Now, the other thing I'm going to say, obviously, I was really upset. We all saw that. I raged like a son of a bitch. The thing went viral. I was so mad, okay? Or a part of my video was in a compilation that went viral. My reaction was not happy that we took Daniel Jones. And when Dave Gettleman came out and said he wasn't going to be there at 17, I said, well, that's BS. He would have been there at 17. He would have been there in the second round and everything else. And then I went back and I actually looked at the draft. And I wondered why Denver made the move they did. Now, there was talk about Daniel Jones going to Washington. That was a big talk, that he was going to go to Washington. That Daniel Jones, Washington liked him a lot, which means he wouldn't have been there at 17. Also, Denver, who needed a quarterback, traded back from number 10. They could have had Dwayne Haskins at number 10. He was there. He was going to be there because the teams in front of Denver were not taking a quarterback. So they had an opportunity to take Dwayne Haskins, and they passed on him. They traded out of that spot, which told me a lot right there the more I thought about it, that Denver probably did want Daniel Jones. And as much as I still can't really say that Daniel Jones at number 6 was a great pick, because when you're 5-11, I believe that you need to take an impact player at number 6, and he can't impact their team holding a clipboard this year. But going forward, 2020, after he succeeds Eli Manning, I really do think Daniel Jones is in a better situation to succeed with the New York Giants than Dwayne Haskins is to succeed with the Washington Redskins. Now, Skins fans are going to kill me. Everybody's going to kill me for this video, but again, I don't care. I don't come on here to massage people's egos. I don't come on here to try to be everybody's friend. I don't come on here to try to make everybody agree with me. I like the debate. I always have. That's why I do these videos. I don't pull any punches, man. My opinion is my opinion. Now, I don't just come on here and frickin' freelance and just say, I'm saying this just to say it. I obviously do some research on this stuff, and I did a lot of research, and I looked at a lot of film of both of the quarterbacks. The film, the game film, not the highlights, not the stats, the actual game film. And Daniel Jones can definitely be better than Dwayne Haskins at the NFL level. Again, does that mean he will be? No. If you would have told me this 2 months ago, I would have said, ha, 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 you're full of it. Daniel Jones stinks. He shouldn't be here. He stinks. Because all I did was look at the statistics. I don't watch Duke football. And that was reactionary. I never thought Daniel Jones would be here. I thought that was a bunch of hubbubaloo, so I never even bothered to study him to see how he was in the field or why his numbers were as poor as they were. Dwayne Haskins playing at Ohio State, I obviously saw Dwayne Haskins play at Ohio State. So I knew what he was capable of. And again, he's got a big arm, and he can definitely make throws, and there's no doubt about that. But I still believe, looking at this game film and looking at the mindset of these two and looking at the situations they're in, that Daniel Jones can definitely have a better NFL career than Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, we're not going to know the answer to this for years to come, but I wanted to put a video out there, and I just wanted to get people talking. If this don't get you talking, I don't know what will. There's no football to talk about, so what the hell? Let's throw that out there for debate. Daniel Jones or Dwayne Haskins? Who has a better NFL career? Let me have it. It's Baddog, and I'm gone.